Afraid the rest of the Steam Widow here are gone. The young ones had camped to the east were lost when the Morlocks came. Yes, there's always been Morlocks on these shores, but not in these numbers. They came in droves from the sea at night, howling and frothing, swarming up the land to attack. Can't have them still running around now can we? Would you put an old goblin at ease and go beat some of them back into the water? That just reminds me, I was talking about Tavern Cast before. Actually, I was talking about that in the StarCraft video I recorded. Tavern Cast is coming back, by the way. Obviously, by the time this comes out, they'll probably already be back. Probably. But, yeah, Tavern Cast is coming back because of the classic servers and all that. So that's going to be great. I'm not sure how much they're going to end up doing, but it'd be great to see, great for them to be back. But back in the day, when they were a WoW podcast, they stopped for a time. But like halfway through episode 20 something, they decided, like they'd fallen out of love with WoW and whatnot. Current Kadir were still playing, but most of them weren't. So they were just like general gaming and whatever nonsense. But yeah, they're coming back for classic. But back in the day when they were WoW podcast early on, they had people sending their Murloc impressions, and they end up using them all in a little thing they put together. It's like radio drama or what have you. It's Day of the Murloc, Night of the Murloc. I can't remember what they called it, but basically the whole shtick was that the U.S. government made a bioweapon, Murlocs, and they get loose and they're rampaging around, and you had tons of different, podcasters in it. Got the Linian and Star Mike from World of Warcraft, because it was back in the days when Linian was the host at the time. That show's gone through a few hosts. Star Mike the whole way through, but it's Linian, then Renata, then chick from another WoW podcast, Alachia. Then this new guy who I don't know at all. Actually, no, it went back to Linian for a few episodes. Then this new guy. Ren had her own podcast for a time. It's gone now, though. But anyway, yeah, they had tons of different people in there, like Linian and Star Mike. They also had. Oh, damn it, the name was there, but now I can't help but think of a guy with a similar name. But yeah, they had tons of different people in doing their own little segments and things, and it was a great little thing. I loved it when I was younger. I loved it. I haven't listened to it in ages. I should. But yeah, I'm looking forward to them being back. Orcs and humans. Privateers. But yeah, part of the reason why I brought that up was beyond just, the Murloc connection, just talking about the huge numbers of it. Part of the radio drama was that when the Murlocs went into the water, they were, just like multiplying with due to contact with it. So a few would go in and a huge swarm would appear. It was a great little radio drama. Sadly, you know, the spin-off they had, the Shadow Council, that only went on for a few episodes before stopping, and you can't find that footage anymore. It's not on iTunes. Maybe since they're returning to it, maybe they'll put it up. I can only hope. It would be nice to have it. Because the whole little page for it's gone off of you know, iTunes. You can't download it anymore, sadly. And I don't have it on my computer. I might have it on my Mac, but I probably deleted it to make space for recordings once upon a time. And anyway, I can't use my Mac, so yeah. Actually, my iPad, sorry, not my iPad. My old laptop might have it. Probably not. One big thing about, you know, Classic, I wouldn't be going between fights quite as quick like this, you know. I would have to stop and drink and eat more. I remember needing a few stacks of food on me when I was leveling my paladin, for example. But yeah, so like the combat is a lot different in Classic to this, you know. Something that will have to be gotten used to. They'll definitely have to be getting used to. Okay. From what I'm remembering, I turned in this quest and have a quest to go into the cave, then it's up to the Temple of Hakkar. A few quests in there, and then it's off to Stonard. Also, Warcraft 1 and 2 are now on GOG, so I can go cover them. And basically I bring them up because this whole thing is a reference to 1 and 2. Stonard and maybe the Alliance settlement over here are references to it, like they were in Warcraft 1 or 2. Orcs and Humans is the subtitle for one of the games. You know, it's... You know, this place is just full of references to that game, to those games. So, yeah, that's what I'm bringing up. But they're on GOG, so I can go cover them now. I'd like to get him at some stage. Just, I'm broke as shit right now. I was vague about this before, but I'll say it now because it's confirmed. As I've said, I have a lot wrong with me. So much so that I'm actually, after qualifying, for disability. I have disability money due to me, and whatnot. I've been waiting on it since August. So there is a fair bit of back money there, and yeah, so yeah, where's my English going? But yeah, there's a fair bit of back money, and I'll have, you know, more money when I get that. So I'll be able to get shite then. Like, you know, when I'm getting onto disability, whatever. I can never remember the second word of it, but you know, it's a two-word thing: disability payment, disability something. But yeah, I'll have, you know, a bit of cash in my pocket to actually buy things with. So, yeah, once I get that. But yeah, I was vague about it when I was referencing it before because I didn't kind of felt wrong to say what it was. But you know, without it, you know, being confirmed and whatnot, I didn't want to say it too early. But yeah, basically, I've qualified for disability allowance or whatever it is, and I've been accepted, and just waiting for them to get around to giving it to me. So once I get that, I'll have cash to, you know, grab a few things. Certainly going to get a new headset. This one's falling apart. All the stuffing is after coming off it, and the right earpiece is really fucked. So, yeah, I'll definitely be replacing that once I get cash. But I can go. Then I can also grab a few other bits and pieces here and there. I've also been eyeballing getting a Switch and a bit of kit so I can record it. Cause Nintendo has no issue with Let's Plays now. They've changed their policy. So, you know, why not? But anyway. So yeah, basically, I've some money due to me for that. So once I get it, I can go grab a few bits. You have to wonder just what's out there. This is the coast of the Forbidding Sea, with nothing beyond its reaches. But all these fishy folk just stomped right out of it. What's more, I saw where they've been going. I've been seeing sea creatures acting oddly throughout the whole swamp. The Morlocks, yes, but before that, the Gilbans and the Makura. I even saw some Naga wander ashore the other day. Something's calling them here, and working them into a frenzy to boot. Minded creatures have been drawn to the Stagobog cavern to the west. Something's down there, and if it gets any stronger, wolves are wandering in there too. Should put a stop to whatever it is before that happens. It hurts me to see the thorium there and not mine it. Like, seriously, that hurts so much. Strength reduced. Wish he said by how much. Even more thorium. Some faceless ones. Well, a faceless one. They were certainly different when we saw them initially in Warcraft 3. down. Come on. But yeah, faceless ones were a lot different back in the day. Woo. What's up? Like I remember seeing some weedy ones running around with cups. And then there's a giant one that just kind of was evocative of Cthulhu, really. There isn't anything up here, is there? I just remembered in one place there was a thing up here, but clearly not here. And yet another thorium vein. You don't know how much it hurts to not be able to mine it. Any moment now. Alright, I'm out. Saw a WoW comic recently. They did it about Mechagon. It was some like old gnome found Mechagon, and he was taken in and he was shown the wonders of the place and whatnot. And it was the king kept hammering in about how better they were. You know, like they're like how how basically within WoW, gnomes were once made of metal. They were mecha gnomes, but curse of flesh by the old gods turned them into what they are now. And the Mechagon gnomes strapping bits, replacing their hands and themselves with bits of metal, are to trying to reattain that. So yeah, he's anyway, he shows the old dwarf all these wonders and whatnot, and then he sends him off for the night that it was late. He must be tired. So he gets waylaid by the prince, who explains that the guy actually doesn't give a damn about the king doesn't actually give a damn about the old gnome, and that he's going to use a device to try forcibly turn everyone in the world into, a mecha human, mecha gnome, mecha Draenei, and everyone has to be alerted. But the old gnome, there's so much he wants to do left, and he has no time, and he mightn't be able to find the place again. So he tells the king instead, in hopes of getting a reward and being able to become a mecha gnome, like the king had been, hinting at how superior it was, and the basically immortality coming with it. So the guy undergoes the process, but is just rendered brain dead. He just is just like, found it, static, found it, static, found it, static. That's all you can say. The process hadn't been tried on anyone before. This instant full body thing. So it would be a nice touch if you could actually find that guy within the game. He was just an NPC off to one side. Even if he wasn't named and that's all he said. That'll be enough for you to figure it out. Shares the same name with the gnome that's now in Terragard Sound. There's apparently some gnome going around But actually, he might be in 8.2, or he might be in the game at present. I'm not sure. But yeah, he's like banging on the vault door in Terragard Sound, trying to get in. Share the same first name with him, but the one in the comics has, you know, full white beard, and this guy doesn't. So I guess it's just similar name, unless the guy, you know, grew it out in, you know, in between being added to the game and the other thing, the comic. But yeah, it was an interesting read and quite, yeah, that's really depressing. I know, it's just sad. I don't know. I had some non-positive emotional reaction to it. I just don't know what the fuck you'd call it. But yeah, I'm interested in seeing more, in seeing 8.2. I'm hoping that the expansion picks up then. I really am. I'm also looking forward to 9.0 and seeing what they do with it. The game has been well, it's been going through patterns of good, bad, good, bad, good, bad. So this is clearly a bad expansion. So next expansion is going to be the good one. So I'm looking forward to that. Like look at Rattle Lich King. That's a great expansion. Then Kata was weak. Then Mists was good. Then Wad was weak. Then Legion was good. Bad for Azeroth is weak. Whatever comes next is good. So, just gonna have to wait and see. In regards to everything, you know, wait and see if 8.2 is good. Wait and see if the next expansion is good, because who knows, it could break the cycle. This is one cycle you don't want them to break, but it could still happen. Just gotta wait and see what happens. Sorry, I moved my train of thought. I am actually getting rather tired. It's now 10 and I've been awake since 6 a.m. Actually, no, maybe it was a bit later I was awake from, but still I've been awake for for over 12 hours now, so I'm a bit tired. Oh my, it sounds like you ran across quite a sinister being. I wonder what one of those was doing all the way out here. Yeah, the first time you encounter faceless ones was in Warcraft 3. They were between artists and HD, and they were on the path on the. Anubrak went to get artists to Ice Crown quickly to try and beat Illidan and Prince Kale and Lady What's Her Face Naga person. I don't have much. Ooh, I can look her up here. They went through Nubrak's old home. Lady Vash. Nubrak's old home. And they had to fight their way through. And on the final level, just before they got out, they found a ton of faceless ones. Actually, it wasn't the final level just before they got out. They were there too, but they were also on an earlier level as well. But yeah, they ran into a ton of faceless ones. That's where they first appeared. There's some like horror in the depths, and they looked generally like the ones that you see now, except some of them were like wielding like giant wooden clubs, you know, and trying to hit you with them. Then you saw a thing that looked, like I said, as far as I'm remembering now, I could be wrong. You can check the video if you want. It looked a lot like a cartoon. It looked a lot like a cartoon, but it was actually meant to be one of the faceless ones themselves. It was a forgotten one, I think. So, yeah. The big comrade are it's undergoing rather a bit of an epidemic of them, aren't we? First time they appeared, it was just them in this little cluster as a horror under the world, but now they're fucking everywhere. It's like Pyramid Head. He was just meant to be this one guy's personal trauma, or you know, representative of his thing. But no, everyone has Pyramid Head now. Everyone. That kind of bugs me, because the symbolism was meant to be unique to that character, but because Pyramid Head was such a jump out, standout character, it has to appear everywhere. It's represented to everyone, which doesn't work. Like, give people a unique thing, like that one Resident Evil movie. Actually, well, sorry, there's two Resident Evil movies, but you know the first one. I think it turns up in the second one as well, but I haven't seen it. It's there in the first one, and it's just like, use a different creature. That one's meant to represent a different thing. Also, that first Silent Hill movie does bug the shit out of me. Does bug the shit out of me. Basically, it's based off on the games, but in the game, it's a father trying to find his daughter. But apparently the directors looked at that story and was like, a father desperately trying to find his daughter, going through his own personal hell in the form of Silent Hill, trying to fight his way through, survive, and trying to find his daughter. That's not sympathetic enough. No, it needs more vagina. So they made it the person doing it a chick instead. That's depressing. People think a father going to hell and back to try and save their kid isn't, endearing enough, or endearing isn't the right word, but it's lacking. Fuck off. Ugh. I'm sorry, I just can't dig that. So yeah, then they can shove it. I also hated that movie because at one stage, one of the characters, she's winning in a fight, and it's like, oh good, I've delayed them long enough. I'm just gonna stand here and let them win. Like a fucking gobshite. She's just like, okay, I'm gonna fucking disengage and run the hell away. No, I'm just gonna stand the fuck here. She didn't even look fucking knackered. She just stood there. So between like, oh, it's not sympathetic if it's a guy going through hell to save his kid. Sympathetic, that's it. Well, it wasn't sympathetic enough. At least from what I'm remembering the wiki, I could be using the wrong word, or maybe the wiki's lying. I saw something similar about one of the Hobbit movies. There's some quote floating around, and I tried to find it again, and it seems to be completely fake. But anyway, between that line anyway about not being sympathetic enough or whatever, and then just having that character act like a fucking idiot, it's just like, ugh, I hate that movie. Like, goddamn. Not even much of a Silent Hill fan. It just, the latter point it's just stupid. Well, actually, both points are just stupid. It's just, ugh. Kind of bogs just irritates me. But anyway, bitching aside, Babbitt's leg warmers. Yes, I want to wear this old goblin 80s pants. I settled here well before Bog Paddle was founded, to brew my potions and find some peace and quiet. I noticed swamp like the back of my old gnarly hand. There's been a change in the wildlife recently. Those winged snakes you may have seen in the Stragglebog are wind serpents. They've been seen around here for ages. They're also prime for ingredients if they're the kind I'm thinking of. Be a dear and gather me some of their hearts, will you? I didn't remember this bit. The sunken temple off to one side there was actually a rather large dungeon once upon a time, and it actually had a paladin quest, well actually a quest probably for each class, sending them into it. I was never able to do the paladin quest one. When I was that level, it was too burly for me. Me and my aunt would try and do, run dungeons, together. Not plug in other people and whatnot, just do it, try and do it. She was playing a hunter, so we would have her pet tank. And frequently the things were just too burly for us to just do it that way. I would have to play healer, and I didn't think of respecking as a holy paladin, nor did I have the gear for it, for that matter. But anyway, but yeah, I was never able to get that done. And then, you know, it was eventually just removed in Canada. I had forgotten all about it, even when I would have been able to do so. I just forgot it was even a thing. I have to go do some skinning. But yeah, I forgot it was even a thing, so I missed out on it, sadly. But yeah, it was actually a rather large dungeon back in the day, but since Canada, it's been pared down quite substantially. I believe the same is true for Maradon. I knew I saw some jumping down there. There's a player back there, but yeah, I think Maradon and Sunken Temple were both pared down in Canada. Sunken Temple was most definitely. I think this Atal'Hakkar Noctius does turn up in 8.2. I want to say I saw something about him. Don't be squeamish now. Let's see then. Let's have a look then. Oh dear. That's what I thought these were. They might still be usable, but it's horrid to have such things in my backyard. These serpents must be from the Temple of Hakkar. I already had a hint. Not a few days ago, I had a visitor drop by and ask me to keep an eye out for such things. These serpents must be from the Temple of Atal'Hakkar. I already had a hint. Not a few days ago, I had a visitor stop by and ask me to keep an eye out for such things. Now, an elf by the name of Itarius. I'm sure he didn't think I could see through his form. There's a green dragon in disguise, come here to help his fallen brothers, no doubt. He may very well be onto something. Itarius left for the temple itself. Perhaps you better go look for him there. Dark things are afoot. There, at the end, you would fight the shade of Aranicus. Let me just try and find them here. Classic dungeons is okay. This seems to still be same. Whoa. Temple of Atal'Hakkar. Yeah, I think there used to be more bosses to this, but there's also like optional bosses, little events you could do. There was a lot of flavor to this place. Like if you killed these like 6 guys on pedestals, they would summon in an extra guy that you could fight, an optional boss. You had to kill those 6 guys on pedestal and maybe the optional boss for that paladin quest. But yeah, anyway, there's this whole huge long quest chain to do with the soul of Aranicus and all this. Sadly, for whatever reason, Blizzard never finished it. You turn his soul into this one guy, and that was the end. Nothing else will come of it. They've kind of finished it in Canada. Basically, the guy's gone mad and is like trying to collect dragon souls for power. But that was the end of it, of that quest chain. They just kind of finished it there, and that was it. That is the one issue with Classic. There's a lot of unfinished plot threads, and like there's one plot thread that doesn't even start. Over in Ishara, they're on the southern side, among the crevices, you'll find some shipwrecked people. They're trying to fend off Naga, and you start the quest, and Naga attack. And nothing happens. You talk to him again, and you can start the quest again. Naga attacks. And you can do this as many times as you want, but you won't actually benefit from it at all. The Naga won't give experience, nor do they drop loot. And the quest never continues or picks up or anything. So, yeah. But, yeah, back in the day, the dungeon we're going to go frog around outside of used to be a lot bigger of an affair. It was quite the expansive yoke. But not so much anymore. Come on, keep moving. But yeah, it's been reduced in size quite dramatically in like Kata. The spider of that size is terrifying enough, but it's swimming like that is creeping me out further. But yeah, it's been maybe like half in size in Kata. It's generally quite annoying. Fine, I will fight you, I will kill you, since you're so eager to damn well die. The goblin sent you. She's a cunning eye, that one. She speaks the truth. I am here to stem the tide of corruption seeping from this temple. If you would save your people from a wicked fate, Shandalyn, I ask for your assistance. Slave demon. Slaves demon up to level 57, forcing it to do your bidding for 5 minutes. The trolls who work within this temple have done grievous harm to my kind, Shandalyn. We were sent here to guard this place, and we were instead used to unleash the terrible powers within. I must beg for you for the help only a mortal can give. You can be my hand within the temple. Should I enter by myself, I risk being turned against my brothers as well. We shall make a pact. If you wish to help, first gather Atal'Hakkar artifacts from the waters around the temple, and return them to me. You know, I really should start doing more archaeology on my main. You know, fly around some of the classic zones, do some archaeology there, that kind of thing. Like, it wouldn't be an issue. I'm also thinking of going back and finishing Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne. I've more of an itch to do it now, though I might have messed with my saves yet again. I was trying to make space on my old hard drive. I was hoping to try and transfer over all of Warcraft 3 to my other hard drive, but it seemed I only transferred half over. And when I tried to move stuff back, I didn't quite put it in the right folder, and now I don't know what's the correct folder, or where the bit I moved is, and which bit is the bit I moved. So I'm just going to re-download it and hope it works. And, you know, I can just continue from where I left off. But, yeah, I kind of want to finish off that Rexer campaign. Then, I do want to do more Erdor, but, God, it's such a hard game. I'm just kind of burnt out on it. Like, I want to do more of it, but I'm just like, ugh, you know, it's hard. You can't save scum in it. And while you can turn back a turn, it's such a, you know, basically by the time you realize you made a mistake, it's probably more, you know, you're probably a few turns in from where you could turn it back. Your gathering of these artifacts will be a sign of fate. Once rendered, I will perform the ritual. The essence of the green dragonflight wafts from these artifacts, the vestiges of my corrupted kin. Purifying them, I form a bond between us. Step forward, Shandalyn, and receive the oath stone of Ysera's dragonflight. I will need you to enter the temple first, Shandalyn. I can join you once the path is secure, but I dare not enter blindly. Turn against my kind, I will be a vicious enemy. You can start by descending the stairs behind me, then swim through the flooded depths of the broken hall. Once there, follow the passageway to the right to find the Hall of Masks. Beware of any temple guards. Once you've found the Hall of Masks, I'll contact you through the Oathstone. Thing in Cossack that I will have to keep in mind is, beyond inventory sizes, in fact the quest items will take up inventory space. It was in Kata, if not Mists, that they decided to have quest items put into hammer space. There's also been no reagent bank in, like, at the banks. The resources will also stock up to only 20 at most, rather than 200. So, one difference between modern WoW and Classic is their inventory issues are much more of an issue. You know? They'll be rather crippling. Though you can get bags for the different crafting professions and gathering professions that are rather large. They're on par with modern bags, but only for that profession. So there is that limitation. But still, you know, respectable bag size is respectable bag size. You found it. This is it. These are the bones of my kin. My brethren are being butchered here, as I thought. I must ask your help further before I enter Shandalyn. The passageway outside this room, the hallway proceeds left and right. To the right, it goes down to the Chamber of Blood. Here, the Atal'Hakkar perform their dark rituals. They have expected and prepared for my kind for years, but not for you. Enter the Chamber of Blood and slay the priestess Umdumbra. She is one of 3 foul presences that must be vanquished before I may enter. The Speaker of the Chamber of Blood. They're called cursed Atal'Hakkar. In what way are they cursed? Just gonna kill my way up this left hand side and then just start a brawl with the priestess from there. Okay, engage. Flask of Big Mojo. Jojo. Sorry. The Oathstone binds us. Good riddance. Another source of corruption in this world put to rest. I thank you for your bravery, Shandalyn. The trolls here have perpetuated the fall of my brethren to the nightmare. They infect and corrupt green dragons with the blood of their foul god, and then harvest the evil that has grown within them. They are being farmed like a livestock. This disgusting savagery cannot continue. Return to where you left the Hall of Masks, and take the other corridor towards the butchery. Gamora, the bloodletter, harvests corpses for these foul and evil rituals. Take his undeserved life from him. When he chose to corrupt my kin, he purchased his own demise. They're being farmed like livestock. Are they being bred in here as well? Like, does he have a little, green dragon breeding farm going on? and will deserve fate. You will not find the pacifism of the red dragon fight among my You will not find the pacifism of the red dragon fight among my kin, Shandalyn. Will not suffer the intrusions of mortals. Please, the red dragon fight guarded Grim Batal back in Classic. If anyone went near, they tried to kill them. All that yet stands between me and the temple of Prophet Shandalyn himself. There's also a quest in the hinterlands, you know, with Airy Peak and all that. You could find a troll there that was actually exiled from this temple, and he would send you there to kill a guy or whatever. Christ, this looks terrible, and you know the weird outline on it. Ugh. But yeah, that was a bit removed during Kata. I'll end up doing that at some stage, I'm sure. All that yet stands between me and the temple of Prophet Shandalyn himself. All that stands between me and the temple is Prophet Shandalyn himself. He is the leader of the Atal'Hakkar trolls here, a foul manipulator. Know that you do not face a mere crazed troll, Shandalyn, but an instrument of forces beyond your darkest comprehension. Yet you do not fight alone. My strength and the will of the Green Dragon fight will go with you. Proceed to the den of the collar, left through the Hall of Ritual, and then down into the Hall of Bones. At the bottom, you'll find Shandalyn, leader of the Atal'Hakkar. Temple of Atal'Hakkar, den of the collar. Don't know what's down the other way. Controlled Sunso. I'm surprised they've gotten 2 warlords. One good thing about Classic is the return of, well, in the original Darkmoon Fair, when you talked to the fortune teller and got your fortune, what would happen occasionally is you'd actually get a quest from him, and you could then go to like Dead Mines and find a bonus chest or something. I never did it, so I can't really say what exactly happens, but that's what it made it sound like. Because you had this fortune, you'd have access to some extra chest. So yeah, I always found that cool, but I never did get to do it. But come Classic, I'll get my chance. Oop, damn. Do it. Do it. You'll not be getting me that easy. Atal'Hakkar gonna rise up. Step 3, Prophet. He's escaped. I should have known it would not be so easy. The path is clear, Shandalyn. It is time to return. You've done well, Shandalyn. Shandalyn may have escaped our grasp, but his retreat paves the way for me to enter the temple as I desire. Stay where you are and do not move. I will hasten your return by pulling your spirit to me through the Emerald Dream. This may cause slight drowsiness. Oh, handy, I forgot he did that. Figured I was gonna have to find my way back. In Classic, I imagine I would. There wouldn't be, this kind of yanking me back kind of thing. To be honest, such things is pretty rare in modern WoW itself, but it would probably be even more unheard of in Classic. You've performed a great service for me and my kind, Shandalyn. Accept this as a symbol of my gratitude and of your courage. Greetings, Undead. I am Lord Atarius of the Green Dragonflight. I'm here to free my kin from the evil within this temple, hopefully for good. Will you assist me? Regardless of whether you assist me within the temple, your people must be told of what is brewing here. Southwest of the temple is the horde town of Stonard. The orcs there wage a war against the new human arrivals to the swamp. I have raging conflict that I foresee only worsening. It's not my role to interfere in mortal affairs, Shandalyn. Simply ask you to bring warning to your people of what lurks within the temple. Yeah, Ranicus. Basically, when you defeat Ranicus, you could get his soul as a quest item, and you go on this huge quest chain for it. And like I said before, when you reach the end, it would just end abruptly. You'd hand it in to a guy expecting a follow-up, but that'll be it. There'll be nothing further. And it was quite... It's honestly, I'm rather disappointed because, they had this huge thing and they just, let it finish there, and they don't actually finish it. It's just done abruptly and that's it. Which is... It kind of ruins the whole thing, So, but still, I'll do my best to show you that come Classic. I would also like to show you, the quests leading up to the, during the Gong event in Silthus, and all the Elemental Stone bosses. In Kata, they removed them from the game. They rejigged Silthus and removed all the fun content from it, while adding in barely any new content. So I want to show you all the stuff that they've yanked out. So, anyway. Was that on fire earlier? But, what was I saying? Oh yeah, it was Aranicus quest chain was left unfinished. Then Silthus, I want to show you the Gong quest. I brought that up because I think I vaguely remember Aranicus appearing there as well, actually. Some Green Dragon does. Maybe it wasn't the Gong quest. Maybe it was something else, but there's some big quest chain and Aranicus, I swear, appears in it. Separate to the whole Sunken Temple quest here. I can't remember. Here, give me a sec. Hey folks, and I'm back. Just had to listen to that. I felt I left something unfinished, but no, it was actually relatively well done. Oh, apparently there's WoW Arena event going on right now. But it was just there in the Blizzard launcher. So OBS Battle.net. Wow. You can hear me, you can hear the game, and I am recording. Let me just hire this up slightly. But yeah, I actually made my point well enough in the in what I had said. I thought I had left something out or whatever, but no, I said fine. Also, there's talk of Diablo 4. So remember how we ended up getting a mobile game instead of Diablo 3 expansion? Apparently they're actually working on Diablo 4. They cancelled a StarCraft 1 shooter, StarCraft shooter to focus their teams on Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2. Sad to me that they cancelled the shooter rather than, I know, just putting it on hiatus or something. Because, I would like to see more StarCraft content. Even if it isn't a RTS, Oh, it's the artifacts. But yeah. So we'll be getting StarCraft 4, apparently. If the rumors are to be believed. we won't know. Basically, the thing is that we'll probably hear about it at BlizzCon. Issue is, BlizzCon is here. It's like here-ish. So, yeah, we won't hear about it till then. So it's a bit, a bit far off. So, hopefully the rumors will be confirmed then, if not earlier. Also noticing it's right by the 15th WoW anniversary. Wondering when we'll find out about the next expansion. Probably next year, I'm guessing. Post 8.3. But I'm just thinking of it in regards to, video backlog and all that. Because I want to provide a bit of a buffer for myself so I don't end up overshooting the release of the next expansion. When Legion was ending and Balthazar came out, I was uploading videos, figuring it was going to be in September or later when BFA came out. But it actually came out in August, so I had to re-download some videos off YouTube and then re-upload them, and it was a bit of extra work. So this time I'm just gonna hold my stuff in June, July, and just wait for the announcement and release date, and go from there. That way, I have a bit of a I'm figuring the next expansion will be late in the year, so I have a bit of a buffer there, more so than I did last time. But anyway, yeah. More importantly, anyway, to worrying about buffers and all that, I do hope we find out a bit about Diablo 4 at BlizzCon, because I would like to know. I'm damn curious. There was one guy was floating the idea that it could end up being a soft reboot, given how hated Diablo 3 was. Basically, they just continue from the end of Diablo 2 expansion and just ignore Diablo 3. It's as if divergent, timelines, I guess. They might do that, or they might not. I'll have to wait and see what happens. Because you never know, it might continue right after Reaper Souls. Won't know till what happens. Rise of the Horde. I read that before. Warlock trainer. You look to be dangerous enough, but you look like you still need training to meet Shandalyn. She has no title. I'm guessing maybe she sold, and due to where she's positioned, maybe she sold the minion books for Warlocks. Fun fact: Warlocks in Classic and even in Burning Crusade had to buy books to teach their minions abilities and to upgrade them and all that. Hunters back in Classic, say if they had a bear and a rend, it might be rend tier 1. If they want to get to tier 2 rend, they had to go tame a creature which had tier 2 rend, and then they could teach it to their pet. They also had to worry about feeding it and its happiness and all that. The happier it was, more damage it would do. Cersei Dust Singer. I need fresh air. Not that there's any to be had in the swamp. Going out for a bit. Tidy up a bit while I'm gone, would you? Lauren Foxfire. Need to learn to appreciate your surroundings, Cersei. Using Stone Art as a base of operations in the swamp gives us a decided advantage in exploratory missions and offensive strikes. We have no time to send orcs to the temple, Shandalyn. The humans come, and they are many. Stone Art must be defended. War rages in the swamp, Shandalyn. Vicious humans have settled north of the city and brought an army to our doorstep. There's nothing in the swamp for them. Their sole reason for coming here is to attack us unprovoked. We'll not give them the pleasure of victory. We are undermanned and need every able orc to take to the battlefield. Go and slay as many humans as you can. We are outnumbered by the Alliance. In their fear they send an army to crush a single settlement. But will not give. Without resources their humans will be at... Without resources their soldiers will be at a disadvantage. When peasants busy themselves in the woods outside the Marsh-Tide Watch, gathering lumber to rebuild their crumbling walls. Deny them the wood and their lives. I've one final dispatch to deliver to you, Shandalyn. It comes from Dreadmaw Hall to the south in the Battlelands, where Matron O'Krilla is waging a battle against the Lance forces in Nethergard Keep, and she needs the assistance of a stout warlock. You immediately sprung to mind. Travel south into the Battlelands and then head west. I will grab that when it's appropriate for me to do so. It won't impact anything, but I just feels wrong. This is gonna be such fun, don't you think, my dear?
Time is of the essence.
Most of my brethren are disdainful of the Horde's barbaric ways, and once I counted myself among them. When I was first ordered to this somewhat humid and fragrant place, I cursed my lot in life. During my studies, however, I grew to appreciate my surroundings, since there's a certain charm, don't you think? You wouldn't be interested in my studies, of course, not being a mage yourself. And he's certainly gone native. Judging by, you know, all the, well, his top being just a leather girdle and covered with, you know, fang necklaces. That's an orc burrow. You call peons in there to get them to huck stuff at people attacking. I remember being on the other side of this once upon a time. I also remember leveling my rogue in Stranglethorn Vale. I remember leveling him there, and I was saying about the Elder Scrolls Online, how I had, due to a humble bundle, I'd gotten a copy of the base game, and I was going to give it a look. I still haven't. Still have the base copy, but I still haven't given it a look yet. You would have, you know, like, you would have seen it if I had. Well, backlogs notwithstanding. Though I suppose I don't really have much backlog for this kind of slot, you know? Apparently there's talk going around of lowering the levels, amount of levels in the game, which I'm not a fan of, because while everything being lower level would be beneficial to me, potentially, I know it just seems wrong to me. Plus it'd be really weird when Outland ends up being like level 10 area. Thinking I might just stop here. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to stop here. I really do hope you've enjoyed, and I hope you join me again soon. Till then, love and peace, baby.